post-production is used as a tool for making celebrities without carrying along the post-production personnel. Let's look at 𝐻𝐻𝐿 family. You know, he has two sons, right? One of them is very popular, is in the mainstream, is getting accolades, getting everything because he's an actor, right? The other one is there. He is a post-production personnel. People don't know him. People don't know him. But there are two children or two sons from 𝐻𝐻𝐿 that are doing this. How do we carry people along and put them in the mainstream so that, you know, when we are doing things, we don't just recognize the actors. When we are giving out awards, yes, some awards are not recognizing the best visual effects person, the best DOP and stuff like that. But do people really know these guys that are doing these jobs? Those are the questions we are trying to ask and answer here.
The fact is who is in front of you that you recognize. Just take it out. It is who is in the front. And who is in front of the camera is the actors, right? So they may get that recognition which they have because they are in front of the camera, they are the one they relate with. But at the end of the day, we can promote ourselves as a technical crew because one, we are the ones that make the final product what it is. So we can promote ourselves. Good enough, some of us are promoting ourselves, some fantastic work we do, whereby these days with social media, you can tag yourself when you do a production by tagging yourself. And by the time you tag yourself, people can easily get to know your profile. Not like when we had back then, that people only wait for end credits. Right now, as soon as your trailer is out, your promotional materials is out for any project, you can tag yourself, whereby whatever you post, people can easily link to your personality so that you can have a faith about the technical people. So give it to them. They are the one in front of the screen. Right now, as they are watching a product or a film, there's the actors that they see that people easily relate with. So is a norm, but we can also see how we can upgrade ourselves so that we can be recognized.
Okay, if I may ask, please, pardon my ignorance. I'm trying as much as possible not to be biased in what I'm trying to do here, you know. Now, let me ask a question, please. I've come across cases of productions where people say, directors once in a while will say it's not necessary, just do the end credit like that, use any end credit, and the people that should be online are not getting credit for what they are doing. As in, please, how do we rectify all of this? Is it just the director's fault or the fault of the crew members that are not putting their names up, or they're not trying to request, or are they requesting and they're not getting responses? I don't understand.
Your name, your end credit is first and foremost your stamp on any project. If you put your end credit, your name is your stamp to any project so that in future it can be related to you. And as the hierarchy goes, after you have the producer, you have the director, the next person on the hierarchy is the editor. So as an editor, even on your opening sequence, you need to learn to put your name at your opening sequence. It doesn't have to be end credits. Your title name is supposed to be at the opening sequence. As soon as you are listing names, writer, producers, directors, EP, editor, cinematographer, you need to promote that because it's your own title, your signature tune. Let's use that word, your signature tune. Because now, if I want to relate to what you have done before, if I don't see your end credit or your name on that project, I will doubt if it is yours. You get it? So it's very key that we need to. So as soon as you're working, there is no director that will tell you not to put your end credits. I don't think that will be. There will always be, even if it's a short film of 2 minutes, 3 minutes, your end credit has to be there because that's your signature for any project. So you don't have to say one director will say no. We'll just say, oh, okay, Kuti did this film and without putting your credit. Now, you're supposed to put your credit into it. So it's very, very key. You should know that. Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Mensah, there is this issue, right? This problem we have in industry where directors get you to start working on a project, and once they have an issue with you based on principles, and you are saying, look, this thing you shot is not good enough, or down is not good enough. After you've done like about 90% of the job, the director says, okay, you know what, give me my materials, give me everything, I'm not working with you anymore. And then somebody starts doing the job, right? And next thing you know, right, the person that finishes the job does not put your name on it, and you started the project. You laid the foundation for the project. I'm aware of one or two projects like that some of us have done, right, in the industry here, that we are not recognized for those projects. And then what do you do in such scenario and situations?
Okay, so the truth is this: sometimes before you pick up on a project, we need to always do what they call outlining what you need to do. Documentation is very key. Somebody cannot just yank you off from a project without an issue or without an error. Even though there's an error, you're supposed to define where it stops and where it continues from. Fine, you may be told, okay, stop this project, I need to take it up to someone. But always insist that project, even though you have done 80%, 90%, your title name is on it. I've been on a project to a well-known, renowned film director, producer. Along the line, we had issues. I have to leave the project. By the time the film finally comes out, to be sincere with you, the junior editor that took it made me an offline editor. He put my name as offline editor. He put his own name as online editor and put his name on it. But I have to fault the man and say what happened. When we went back and forth, though the film has been released, later I found out that when they finally put on some platform, they changed the name to make sure that I get my necessary credit, right? The reason why I have that power to do that, because from the process, we have a documentation that binds us. So as editors, stop being shied away of documenting or putting black and pen together in dealing a deal. Don't be in a rush to pick up a job. Don't be in this desperation to pick up a job. Because that desperation or rush is what producer sees in you as okay. Like for example, somebody comes to you and give you a job, and you have not even seen the product. You have already said, okay, I want to call XYZ. Okay, bro, send me part of the money. Can start the work. You are already showing desperation, and they can capitalize on that on you. So you need to learn to define that. Make sure, except you personally don't want your name to be on that. I've been on a project whereby after editing or whatever, I feel that I don't want to put my name on that project because maybe it was not up to my standard. It's left for your own view. But you can always fight issues like that so that people cannot play on your intelligence. Remember, this is a creative work. It's your intellectual input that matters, which can never be quantified. Sincerely, what we are being paid as creatives can never be quantified, especially in this country. So you need to respect that your final name, your final title on that project is what makes you unique, that you can always make reference to. Because right now, people ask, what have you done before? If you don't have any job that has your name to it, how will you prove that you have done jobs in the past before? So you need to understand that that's a signature to whatever project you are doing. So always define your terms of agreement from the onset to wherever you are going, so that even though you are caught up, you can always get yourself into it and get your necessary credits.
All right, that's great. Now, if I may ask you, now we are talking today right now about post-production as a tool for celebrity making, right? Now,
so want to be the celebrity, the big celebrity on the screen.
We make celebrities. You see your cameraman, people don't talk about all of these things. Your costumier makes you a celebrity. Your cameraman makes you a celebrity, right? You have your audio man there too, makes you a celebrity. You have your makeup artist, makes you a celebrity. The props person makes you a celebrity. The director makes you a celebrity. The DOP makes you a celebrity. You have your gaffer, your sparks person that makes you a celebrity. You have the cam assistant or the cam tech assistant that makes you a celebrity also. Then you have your behind the scenes photographer or recordist that makes you a celebrity also. How do we really quantify this? How does post-production now come in properly to make all of these people celebrities in their own ways? Because if you look at it very well, I don't think we are giving enough props to people behind the scenes, and that is part of what this project is all about. This meeting is all about.
As I already noted, we need to first identify the power or the tools we have. As I always tell people, we are the gatekeepers. What do you mean by gatekeepers? We are the final bus stop. We are the ones that make the unknown, the abstract to become to reality. A script character can write a story. The actors do whatever they need to do. But who puts the touches together to get that creativity finally out the way it is? It is we. So we need to recognize that we have a tool in our hand. And for us to recognize that we have a tool in our hand, we have to be proud of what we have. It's so unfortunate, like I see some editors, they're not even proud of what they do. They don't even pride themselves to show themselves. Like now, you are even being called up for a project. You can't even defend yourself. You can't even project yourself. So how do you want people to acknowledge your personality, or acknowledge you, or even put you on that ladder? If you go to a production, especially those of us that do wrangling or that do DIT or those that are on the set, you need to also rate yourself the way those other editors read them, other crew members read themselves. If a director is giving XYZ treatment, you also need to get that XYZ treatment. That's the celebrity you're making of yourself. If one of the artists is being placed in one hotel room, you too deserve to be in one hotel room, not to be put in one lobby or whatever. So that's where you start projecting yourself. So first of all, it has to do with individuality. How do you pride yourself? You see the celebrity, the actors, they'll tell you, say, okay, before you relate to me, talk to my manager. If it's possible, get somebody to manage you. Like somebody calls you for a job right now, you say, okay, don't worry, you can talk to my manager. Somebody that can manage you if you can, because some of us, sorry to say, some of us are not well grounded educational-wise. That's why some of us are being downplayed, and we can't even defend ourselves. So we need to upgrade ourselves educationally-wise, because it's very good. It's very, very great, because we need to upgrade ourselves educationally-wise. Two, you need to also project yourself better so that you can display your personality. There's nothing bad about knowing how to use all the old applications, all the old effects and everything. But how do you position yourself? Is, as I said, is the way you want to be addressed, people will address you. So if you belittle yourself, they'll surely belittle you. So it depends more on ourselves. Fine. Thank God, the Editors Guild, the AMPEEN, Association of Motion Picture Editors of Nigeria, is trying to project, is already putting us in a better limelight, because some of us, recently, I conducted an interview. I told the client, this is XYZ my editors will collect. He said, why? I said, this is the reason I'm giving you. Already, an association is already seen how to put us in the right limelight and giving us the necessary accolade. So it's also good for us to also collaborate, so also move with the association collectively, because it's not about one person, it's not about 𝐾𝐭, it's not about Paul Mensah, it's about our collective reputation. And good enough, even the association, we are representing our editors forum on a larger platform. Recently, the Producers Summit, the Producers Association did a summit. Editors were recognized. We had the opportunity to sit down with the censors for talking about what we need to be proud. And they are giving us necessary listening here. So with time, I believe with time, gradually, we'll get to that level whereby we'll be proud as a key cardinal point of the process. The film process can never end or can never stop without the editor, because what? We are the gatekeepers. So it's a long process. First of all, it starts with individuality. Collectively, we can push it to that level so that we can get the accolade, that celebrity, how will I say, feel. Good enough, we are some platform already giving awards to editors, like the AMPEEN, they are giving awards to editors, best editor, best sound and everything. Those are part of the way they are building it up.
Now,
even the late AMA Award 2 is giving awards to editors to show that we are building. And there's also awards that are going on. So we will get ourselves to that level.
Okay. Mr. Mensah, sorry to cut you. You know, you've said a couple of things that I would love to touch on, right? You said some platforms are giving awards to some editors, to people like that and stuff like that. Now, if I should say this, I don't think I'll be erring on the side of biasness. If I say that some people feel like, you know, some of these jobs are just basically called out for people that are within a particular sphere or a circle. Number one. Number two is this: how do you make your works known when you have colleagues that are so hungry they will do the same job you are trying to do for like half of what you're trying to do it for? Number one. Number two, I have been in situations where you see editors also working as data wranglers, and they are not recognized on locations, and they are expected to sleep just anywhere they can find on the location, most especially for YouTube movie shooting. And sometimes even in our proper movie shootings also. You know, this happens regularly. How do we correct this? Because in all of these things we're saying, right, I think our next meeting, we'll be having a production manager online. We'll be having an executive producer online. If we can get one that is bold enough to come and talk, and we'll try to have a director online also, so that the three different aspects or arms of filmmaking or production can actually have a head-to-head and say, look, this is what it is. I have spoken to an executive producer that says, look, it is what my director told me I did. And I've spoken to a director that says, look, it's what executive producer dropped and I had to work with the budget. And there's a production manager that says, look, bro, it's not me. Executive director said, executive producer said, this is what you're gonna do. And I have no choice because he's got to protect his own job also. So how do we marry all of these things, you know?
One thing you should understand right now, the industry is so saturated with unprofessionals. And sad to say, it's the unprofessionals that are getting the big gigs. You understand? Somebody will tell you that he has a film school background, and when you find out what film school background he did go, maybe one crash course he or she did on one platform, and he calls himself a filmmaker. Even somebody that is doing a iPhone shoot or whatever will tell himself, he or she herself, a filmmaker. If I will tell you that there are online platforms that they call themselves content creator filmmakers, you understand? Fine, is the norm that is happening. But the truth is this: professionals are professionals. Some of us really went through the real film training schools. When I say film training school, I remember I started with 𝐻𝐸𝐴N back then. I started with 𝐻𝐸𝐴N with the likes of Femi Odubaby. I even worked with Mr. Weaver, I need to know, back then. Because we went through the process of rigorous training in the VTR. So far you're mixing 2-3 camera together. You're already editing. It can be online, it can be offline. So far you are just there. VTR style when you start having 2-3 camera that you want to mix together, multi-camera. That's when editing starts. You understand? So it's so unfortunate, as I say, that people that are calling the shots right now, because they have one uncle or one brother over there that can pay the money, EP, then we the professionals are not taking along. They call the shots. You understand? But we can change the narrative, because the truth is this: real job itself tells itself. Real professional tells itself. Okay, let's look, for example, Netflix left Nigeria. Why? Because Netflix found out that the so-called EP or producers were not employing the professionals to work for them, and it was dropping the quality of Netflix products. Yes or no? That is it. That's the major reason why they left. Whereby somebody that doesn't know anything is already calling himself a DP. Someone that is just ordinary cameraman is calling himself a DP. Someone that is supposed to be under what they call the internship as an editor is already calling himself an editor. You understand? So the technicality, the professionalism is being dropped, and it's affecting some projects. But if you want to see a fantastic job that wins award, you'll find that the right set of people are in place. So now the question is this: how do I fall into that category? One way you can fall into that category of professionals right now is to upgrade yourself. Upgrade yourself. I'm happy we have a platform right now that we are having right now about changing the narrative. This open discussion we are having right now. We are learning one or two things right now. I learn from you, learn from me. You learn about new software, new applications, then you upgrade yourself. It's very, very key, because if you don't upgrade yourself, let me tell you the truth, technology will leave you behind. And daily, technology is changing. It's changing daily. So you need to upgrade yourself as an individual, especially if you want to be a big-time player in the industry. Right now, it's about the AI revolution in DaVinci, AI revolution in Premiere, AI revolution in other software. How do you do? To be candid with you, people even use CapCut right now to do fantastic edits. You ask, how come? And you're shouting that there, oh, I'm a Premiere Pepsi, I'm a Premiere. No, you need to upgrade yourself, because things are changing. Even sometimes you are trying to apply for a job right now, people will tell you applications that they are looking for. And you now say, not only Premiere video, sorry, you won't get a gig, you won't get a job. So we need to learn new ways, upgrade ourselves so that we can be on that platform, so that people will not put us down. The newcomers, the new Gen Z, let me tell you, they're on the fast track, they're on the fast lane. They don't mind taking time to buy application, download, to just learn, because they want to be up and doing. That's the same thing we that are from the older generation needs to do. We need to be up and doing. Worst case scenario, you can become a post-production supervisor if you can't really be in that back-to-back editing. You can be a post-production supervisor with your experience, because you can't buy experience in the market. Since then, you can't buy it. So I guess it takes a whole lot of individuality to really break the barriers.
All right. Thank you so much for this input. I believe we have talked about this to an extent. Now, if I may ask, when we are talking about post production as a tool to making for making celebrities, you just harped on what I was going to talk about next: softwares, applications to use, how to come about them. You know, when we look at the cost of all of these applications and things we use, come on, your system, a proper system for editing or for post production, costs almost like 9 million naira as a laptop. You know what I'm talking about. When you're looking for a system that is maybe 20 cores or maybe 30 cores or 25 cores, either Core i7 or Core i9, and looking at about 32 to 64 gig of RAM, the dedicated VGA of like 6 gig or 8 gig and stuff, so you can render fast and move fast on what you're doing. Not forgetting the bus speed and the L2 or L3 cache that you're looking at there. You know, all of these things. How do we relate the messages to people that, look, these things cost us money? I'm using a Mac system, you are using an Alienware, somebody is using a Z1, a Z book and stuff like that. All of this is cost money. Now, do producers, executive producers, do they even think about this? Do directors tell them, look, if you're going to do this, it's going to take this? And guess what? They give you a timeline. You've got to finish the editing, the sound scoring, color grading, all corrections within 2 weeks. If it's beyond 2 weeks, you are slow, they leave you. They move to somebody else. Now, I am grateful for AMPEEN, that AMPEEN is here. That is Association of Motion Pictures and Entertainment Editors of Nigeria, right? How do we get this message across? Because for me and for everybody down there, and I see people that are trying to make things work, that are trying to make ends meet. Believe me, it's not easy. I have a trainee, or should I say prodigy, that is telling me, Mr. Kuti, I want to buy a system, I want to be able to edit. And guess what? The system he wants to buy is outdated. He doesn't know. The system is a desktop with 4 gig dedicated VGA. It has 16 gig RAM, and it's good to go. And I'm like, excuse me, young man, have you asked how many cores it is? If it is a Core i7, is it 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, or 9th generation? How many cores does it have? Have you evaluated the cost? Will it be able to do what you want to do for you, or will you just keep that money, add more to it, and get a Mac that can work faster or do things for you? Because, you know, sometimes there is this segregation of what you use from the directors and producers, that what do you use to work. If you go there with the Windows system, they think they can price you less. But once they see with a Mac system, they want to price you higher.
Okay, the truth is this. You need to create value for yourself, even with your gears.
Okay.
When a client calls you for a job, don't make it believe that you have a ready-to-go laptop to work with. Let the client, if possible, provide the equipment you are using to work with. I remember those days whereby they paid studio section to edit. So make them realize that they are paying you for your equipment, not you working with the equipment. The mistake some of us make is that, oh yeah, bring your hard drive, we'll work. You are not factoring, you are not costing your equipment. That's why at the end of the day, you can't upgrade yourself to world-graded system. Some of us at the end of the day will edit on proxy. Now to export, you'll be looking for
a render farm to
edit. At what cost? At your cost. Maybe they're paying 500k, 300k. Now you're not looking for a rendering farm. Someone that has a M2, like my brother Abraham, like that, now it's okay, come and render. He will not charge you one extra cost, which is already eating into your own personal cost. So first of all, don't just pick up a job without costing the equipment you use to do that process. If it's 50,000 per section or per hour or 20,000 per day or whatever you decide, cost it and factor it. Okay, they call you for a job. Okay, you're editing for me. Yeah, my workmanship. Note it. Workmanship XYZ. System usage XYZ. Rendering XYZ. This XYZ. So that the producer or the EP or the director or whoever contracts you will know that you is paying for studio section. Studio section is still applicable in production. Like for example now, give it to a music producer. As soon as you contract a music producer or a music sound engineer, they tell you, say, okay, you're paying for section. I wanted to do a voiceover the other day. I'm paying my voiceover artist 50K. The guy, the studio engineer, told me, guy, you're paying extra 50K. I say for what? They say, guy, you're paying for using the studio just to get a voice done. You understand? So we need to start quantifying our gears that we use for this project so that we can get that relevant, so that you can have money to upgrade and buy good systems by yourself. And again, when it comes to about systems, sincerely, let me tell you, if you come to my studio and you bring one tertiary system and look, I may not value you, but if you come to my system and I see your gears and Alienware or a MacBook or iMac and everything, wow, if you give me XYZ, I know, man, this guy is going to work for me. Because your system also shows the strength of your negotiation.
So indirectly, you're now saying that appearance matters a lot. Why you come, it matters a lot.
Yes, your appearance, yes. Okay, like for example, now you come to my studio and I take you into my studio environment. You have a well-seated. You see my high Mac, though I'm trying to upgrade to M2. You have AC. Cool, and you see that I have maybe one disclaimer by the side, and I tell you, bros, you are paying XYZ. Guy, will you not be happy? Or you not come to my studio, whereby you see one standing fan by one side blowing, and you see that I've opened my hand,
or you give the person a hand fan to start fanning himself.
To start fanning. Excuse me. If you tell me to pay XYZ, I may say this guy is not serious.
Okay. Now the thing is this, Mr. Mensah.
Because look, it's a marketing strength. It's a marketing strength. The way you present yourself matters. It's a marketing strength. Okay. Let's give it to you.
Okay, that point taken. I think I would love to hear from one or two other people in the group too. Everyone can mute themselves. If you want to talk, just indicate by show of hand. We have about 5 minutes for this, so we can quickly do our short training on DaVinci. Let's just quickly do something on DaVinci. If you want, if you have a contribution, let's just quickly talk how we can project ourselves. Apart from making celebrities, how can we make ourselves celebrities? Does anybody else have a point to make or a contribution to make? We have about 2 minutes.
Okay,
Abraham Dosu, please. Yes, Mr. Abraham, can you talk to us, please? Mr. Abraham, talk to us, please.
Okay. Yeah, good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon, my brother.
Okay, so while you are speaking from your talk, Mr. Our host, you said that you had a project you are working on. Then when you brought it to your Windows, they didn't appreciate, or perhaps the producer or director didn't like what you brought. Or when you brought a Mac, that they felt it was better.
I'm telling you, it's the truth.
Ask. Okay, then my question is this. It's a kind of dicey question. Is Mac better than Windows? From your own perspective, is Mac better than Windows?
Okay.
One. Then secondly, is Mac more expensive than Windows? These are just my two questions.
Okay.
Should I answer that?
Please give your opinion, Mr. Mensah. Please give your opinion.
When it comes to gold mine, when it comes to expense, Mac is fucking expensive. It's selling than Windows, right? Then when it comes to which is more better, I will say something. It's very objective. It depends on what you are doing. Actually, it depends. The good thing for me for Windows is that Windows can easily be upgraded to fine-tune to your choice. You understand? You can easily walk around and upgrade Windows to fine-tune to your choice. But when it comes to durability, Mac is very, very durable for me, sincerely. Yeah. You get it?
All right.
I've been using Mac for a while. Yeah.
Okay. Let me weigh in a little bit, Mr. Dosu. Right. Before you respond again, let me just quickly weigh in. Right. Now the thing is this: what do you want to achieve? I have worked with different clients that see different things and don't know what is behind or inside the machine. We are saying Mac is more expensive than Windows. I guarantee you, when you go for some particular set of Windows, they are way much more higher, much more expensive than Mac.